The best hidden area in the entire game is the Great Hollow, and today we're gonna go through it. Welcome back to Dark Souls. So, the Great Hollow out of a gameplay perspective is not super well. Lore perspective, I should say, is not super interesting in the with the items. Of course, it's super interesting, just the entire area and everything, but the items you find here are not gonna give us much, and that was not what I wanted to do. Can I get back up? That was kind of the only item that I wanted to pick up in the Great Hollow. And I passed it. So we're gonna try to get back in there and pick up that item, and that's pretty much all we're gonna pick up in the Great Hollow. After that, we're gonna try to make a swift exit from here, because there we go. The Chlorine Ring is interesting. It has an interesting symbolic value that I am sadly too uninformed about. But you can see the symbol of the Chlorine Ring in a lot of other like armors and stuff, which is really interesting. But the ring itself doesn't really contain any lore to it at all, with a very basic description of what it is. But you can see the same symbol as the Chlorine Ring in, for example, Smo's armor. He has a bunch of those symbols on his gear, which is really interesting. But that's kind of stuff that I haven't read into too much about, because it's I usually don't I usually don't wanna talk about the theories and stuff. That's too far-fetched, and for this one I kind of don't know enough about it to talk about it. So I'm just gonna say that there's the symbolic value of the Chlorine Ring is pretty interesting. So if you go through this area and you pick up all of the items and stuff on the way down, you will definitely end up with a whole lot of upgrade materials for different weapon modifications, which is of course really handy. But for me right now, we kind of just want to move through this, because it's also not super nice place to be, and kind of easy to die in pitfalls and whatnot here. Kind of just want to move along. The basilisks, being a very ancient creature, being one of the few enemies in the entire. As I was saying, the goddamn pitfalls. The basilisk, being an ancient creature, being one of the very few that are able to do the curse, well, casting curse on other creatures. we'll see and talk a little bit more about that. Why it's kind of important that they are there, and also the enemies down here. So we get a bit of a foreshadowing too already with the mushrooms growing out of the sides of the arch tree. Here we have the mushroom kids. And they're a bit more aggressive than the ones in the Darkroot Gardens, because in the Darkroot Gardens the kids don't actually attack you on sight. They if you attack them in the Darkroot Gardens, then they will just run to their parents. But here they seem to be a bit more aggressive than. Oh, jeez. Maybe. God dang it. It's kind of the speed and the range of these are a little bit deceptive. I feel like they trick me. Okay, and now we can finally It's one of the coolest areas in the game for sure, and sadly they did so little with it. You see two onion bros down there with the bonfire. In the beginning of time, as we know it, there was only arch trees and everlasting dragons. These trees has been here, well, forever, really. We don't know anything about the time before the arch trees and the dragons. Is he gonna start attacking me from there? He is. Rude! I'm trying to take in the view here. So this is Ash Lake. We're walking on just piles of ash, really, from the time when the dragons ruled the world. You can see that because we've climbed down this arch tree here. And the arch trees are actually holding up the entire world that we live in. Like Lordran is up there somewhere. It's really really cool to think about. It's just surrounded by kind of pitch black water.
My father, all hollow now, has been subdued. He will cause no more trouble. It's finally over. I will return to Katerina. You assisted us both greatly. I can hardly return the favor, but please accept this. It's of no use to me now. Oh, Father. Dear Father.
So Siegmeyer was an avid adventurer that set out to roam the world. I'm not sure what he was specifically looking for, but I think he was just looking for adventure. And sadly, the chosen undead came along and helped him overcome pretty much every obstacle that he ran into. Losing the faith in himself and losing the drive to go on because he could never finish his quests. He eventually were driven mad and hollowed, and Sieglin had to step in and end his life. It's a very sad storyline, but sadly, Miyazaki, the lead developer of this game, has a big knack for flawed characters that are and kind of sad or open-ended endings to storylines. Siegmeyer's ending being a bit more direct, but he's definitely a flawed character, beloved by many, but still very flawed, just like pretty much every other character in the entire game. All of them has something that is kind of not right. And we find a dragon scale. And we cannot go through this area without going off of this. The hydras look very static when they jump over, which is kind of the fault of the game engine and maybe the developers too. I'm not super sure about that, but thank you for killing the clam. It was nice. Can you? Dear Lord. they're never fun to fight these ones, especially when you're more of a melee character, because I'm always scared about the edge of the water that we can stand on, because if you get too close, sometimes you can kind of end up being dragged down by the heads if you're really unlucky. And, we don't want that. Yes. Oh. Press the wrong button. I was gonna I was gonna sprint, but I did an R2 instead. I have no idea what I was thinking there. Yep. At this point in the fight, it's kind of easier to just switch to a bow, even though you don't have upgraded bows or anything. It's usually just goes a lot easier. I think you can do this one with a throwing knife too, and. Fuck's sake. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Might work with fire bombs as well if you aim them correctly. I'm not sure if you can reach that far. There we go. Oh. Okay. Just a little bit of a glitch there. That's fine. We have the clams as well as we saw in the crystal caves with Seath, and a Seath of course being one of the oldest creatures that we know of in the game, because I mean he was around before the Age of Fire. I mean he was here in the Age of Dark, when before the gods and the fire even happened. We see a skull that is not really like any other that we see in the game. Would have made sense to have a dragon skull here, I feel like, but this really doesn't resemble a dragon. There are some theories to that dragon that skull is actually the old blacksmith deity that we don't know a lot about, but it could be. Definitely looks like it must be some kind of like some sort of creature that we haven't seen before, because it kind of, like I said, it doesn't really resemble anything that we have in the game as it is. We want to head in here and pick up a few things. I really love the music here too. Like it really gives it the atmosphere that I feel like this area should have. Really nice. Okay, where are we going? Here it is. There we go. And then we can get the great magic barrier. And Miracle of Bishop Havel the Rock. Cover body in powerful defensive magic coating. Havel the Rock, an old battlefield compatriot of Lord Gwyn, was the sworn enemy of Seath the Scaleless. He despised magic and made certain to devise means to counteraction. There's a little bit more about Havel's great hate for magic and the plot against the gods. Now we can get to the end of Ash Lake. It's so cool. So cool. So this is actually an everlasting dragon that is still around. We could join the covenant of the everlasting dragons, and I mean, he doesn't say anything. We can, however, go back here and we can cut his tail off without him. He doesn't mind. Doesn't mind at all. And we can have a look at the Dragon Greatsword. This sword, one of the rare dragon weapons, came from the tail of the stone dragon of Ash Lake, descendant of the ancient dragons. Its great mystical power will be unleashed when wielding with two hands. He's the descendant of the ancient dragons, which I'm not sure, but it maybe implies that that he was born after the Age of Fire ended. Like maybe he was born from an egg that was laid before or something. I don't know. I don't know how dragons are born. Except for his kind of neck and his tail, head being a little bit too small. I think he looks amazing though. It's a fantastic creature, and there's really not much to the Covenant. It's just kind of a it's more of a funny than anything, to be honest. Back in the Dark Root Basin here, we need to take care of a little bit of housework, and we gotta make sure that we can actually get into the DLC. And I kind of missed doing this before. I kind of should have done this a while ago. Definitely before going to the Duke's archives, but yeah, I ended up not to. And we can just get this done right now instead. We're actually not gonna head into the DLC straight away, but I want to finish this before we head off to Anor Londo again, because we are gonna go back and do the Painted World. And it just feels like some pretty decent timing to get this started as well. We will have a little bit of a weird time in Anor Londo because the bonfire is off, so I kind of want to try to run around there as little as possible. It's really weird seeing the edge of the in the water here sometimes. It's a little bit deceptive. So that's what he's gonna be doing all the time, is it? Okay, so we need to find another way to do this. Can we just do it with... Can we do it with the Havel? We have some bolts, don't we? Yeah. Let's put on some sniper bolts and maybe some standard ones. Well. Not doing a whole lot of damage, but At least we're getting to maybe kill something with the avalanche. Oh. Yeah, I think he moved a little bit, didn't he? Little bastard. Did. There we go. Finally, dear lord. Well, think that's actually the first time ever that I killed something with the javelin. Interesting. So we got a ring. We got a Dusk crown ring. This magic crown-shaped ring was granted to Princess Dusk of Ulasil upon her birth. The ringstone allows its wearer to cast additional magics, but at the cost of 1/2 of HP. And I'm gonna meet up with Dusk in just a second. You could also go up this ladder here and get to the kind of back way to the Darkroot Garden, and that way you could actually get to the grave of Artorias without having to buy the crest of Artorias. If you don't want to spend the 20,000 souls on that, you can go the back way. I'm just reloading the game here to get this golem to spawn, and we have this again where you can see the actual character. You can see Dusk better in there than you did with Sieglind. We're getting here so late into the game that these enemies are very, very easy for us now. The DLC is not gonna be very easy, but like the Hydra and stuff, we did quite a lot of damage to. So here we have Princess Dusk of Ulasil.
So, 'tis thou who rescueth me. Most gracious, I am deeply obliged. I am Dusk of Ulasil. I cometh from an age long before thine. I cannot stay here for long. So, before I disappear, allow me to ask one thing. My home, Ulasil, is the home of ancient sorceries. My hope is to pass this profound knowledge to thee with thine approval. Would this be of assistance to thee?
Of course.
My heartfelt thanks. I am pleased beyond words. Then I shout, engrave my signature. If thou art in need, pray summon me from my signature. It seems that my time is done. May the great flames guide thee.
So she has traveled forward in time to see us, and we don't really know exactly how far into time she has traveled, but it's supposedly a really long time, like 1,000 years or something. And she comes from Ulasil. That I mean, Ulasil is Darkroot Garden. It's just what it is. It's just what they called it back when Dusk was, well, in Dusk's time, I guess. And here we just reload the area again so that her summon sign will appear.
I am Dusk of Ulasil. It is an honor to see thee again. I shall follow thine wishes. For a very long time, I was trapped within the crystal golem. From my home I was taken and banished to a plane of distortion. It was there that thou came to my rescue, long after I had relinquished all hope. So gleeful was I. My faith reneweth. The sorceries of Ulasil differ from the magic of thine age. It is difficult to explain. Ulasil's sorceries are, what doth one say? They're somewhat of an approximation. thine sorceries are more straightforward, negating all but thyself. Dost thou not find some fascination in these discrepancies?
It is quite interesting, yes. Having sorceries that are more of an approximation seems a little bit iffy, but if that's how they liked doing it back in Ulasil, then who are we to judge?
The sorceries of it is Ulasil thine.
Okay. So now that we have her here,
if thou art in me, I wish may the
I should probably look at what she has to sell as well. So you have the ivory Ulasil ivory catalyst. Sorcery catalyst of Lost Land of Ulasil, formed by enchanted white bark branches. The white bark boosts sorcery adjustment, but the sorceries of this lost land are gentle and not affected by intelligence. And you can see that that the she doesn't have any sorceries that will harm anything. She has more like sorceries that are like a good like a day-to-day thing, and not like a fighting thing. Like the cast light and repair, chameleon, hidden body, hidden weapon, and yeah. It's kind of interesting to see that that they don't really have much in ways of damaging sorceries. At least not what Dusk has there. But now we gotta head back to Analanda. So with the bonfire keeper gone, we can't use the bonfire obviously, but the warp point still works to there, so we can warp there. And we just want to go in to the Duke's Archives again and kill the golem, or the pendant that we need to enter the DLC later on. And there we get the broken pendant. So now we can just try to get out of here without dying. And we'll meet back up at the painting again. Alright, so back here at the painting, we can now maybe take a look at the pendant that we got. I think it's... No, wait, it's a key item. Should be a key. There. Broken pendant. Half of a broken stone pendant. The vine appears to originate from Ulasil. A powerful magic can be sensed from this ancient stone. Yet men of this time can neither manipulate nor sense its power, which has a distinct air consisting of both reverence and nostalgia. So that is the kind of convoluted way of getting into the to the DLC of this game. Really weird that they kind of hide it so well, I think, but it's just the way they roll, I guess. And I mean, with the gaming community that we have now, secrets don't stay secrets for very long anyway. But yeah, I'm kind of on the yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of wondering if if we should start the painted world in this episode, or if we should just leave this episode a bit short and take it all on in the next one. I think we're gonna start off the next episode with the painted world instead. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the painted world.